Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Elevating Your Life show. Paula Vail here. I'm thrilled to interview for the second time just an amazing, amazing woman, amazing author. And what we're going to talk about today really is something that is life-changing for so many. We have with us today Lynn Russell, and she is the author of The Wonder of You, What the Near-Death Experience Tells You About Yourself. Lynn has been a spiritual seeker her whole life. She researched the major world religions as well as spiritual philosophies. After researching 2,500 cases of near-death experiences, Lynn was so delighted by what she learned that she wrote her book. And this book received rave reviews. And now a more in-depth second edition is available. She is looking forward to launching her spiritual tween book, Warple. I hope I said that correctly. So anyway, your book is amazing. Oh my gosh. And the stories you share. First off, I want to say welcome, Lynn. It's so great to see you again.
I'm so thrilled to be here.
Thank you. Love it. I just love it. Well, would you like to share any more of your background and kind of, what really triggered you to say, I'm going to write a book about these near-death experiences? What brought you to that?
I actually came into it by accident, but it was the best accident I ever had in my life. Because all my life I've been a spiritual person, and I was trying to find out two or three things. I wanted to know the truth, whatever that happened to be. And I also was terrified of death. So I wanted to know what would happen to me when I died. And so those were the big questions I had when I was doing all this studying. And so as years went by, I got a lot of answers from, different things, but I couldn't still understand what happened when we died. Those answers didn't come. And until Raymond Moody's book in 1975, his books opened the door, of course, and that was just amazing. Now, I had had a tiny death experience. I just went into the tunnel. I was told it wasn't my time, and I was back. So I didn't get to see the light or anything. But anyway, so that was my background. When I retired, I was a family counselor for 30 years. So when I retired, I thought I wanted to be a writer and I was going to write novels. And so I was researching this novel and I went to NDERF and because they had answers to some of the questions I was asking. And and I got hooked. I got hooked in the chat line and just it was, and here I have all this time. So I was having a great time. And then he asked for someone to volunteer to do research. And I just recently retired. I had all this time on my hand. So I volunteered. And that was the best thing I ever did.
Wow.
I got all the answers I was looking for. And I found out like everything that I was looking for.
And you cover so many different topics in the book that we learn and what people have experienced from NDEs. And, as you said, you were curious, what after death? I mean, that's a question that so many of us ask. And what these near-death experiences in your research tell us, would you say that we go on after this physical body?
Oh,
I see it as this is my car and I'm on this life. Yeah. It's the highway I'm on. And the next time I'm going to be in a different car on a different highway.
That's true. Yes, very much. Yeah.
But it really does open up a lot to once the physical body is gone, there's, we're still there. So many people in your book and with your research, and like you, and you were one that was told it's not time. So would you say, do you believe that happens quite often, or do you think that's rare?
I didn't quite hear the
Um,
question.
you were told when you had your short near-death experience that it wasn't time, you
Yeah,
were going back. Do you
yeah.
think that happens often?
Oh, yes, I think that's the most common thing that happens. It's just the difference is they get to go past the tunnel. But yes, that's very, very common. And it's usually because they have some work that they've promised to do, a goal or, something. Or one lady came back because she knew in the future that her daughter was going to be going through some very difficult times and she wanted to be here for her. So she came back for that kind of reason. So there's all kinds of different reasons why people come back. But
Yes.
yes, that's what they're told. Some people are given a choice. They'll be, well, do you want to go back or do you want to stay? And some of them choose to come back, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't know about it. But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Wow. And would you say that each one of us individually in each lifetime has a particular purpose, has something
oh
that
yes,
we're here
yes,
to do, or
yes,
a passion?
yes.
That's pretty fascinating, isn't it?
Yes. And we choose those kinds of things before we even come into this physical life. Our soul, and maybe with others, we choose what would be our goal, our purpose, whatever. And if people, I often get asked, how do I know what my purpose is? Just follow your heart, do what gives you great pleasure because it's built in.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Follow your heart and just, resonate in that and your intuition, and you'll find your passion, won't you?
Yeah.
Wow. Do people, when they have near-death experiences, do they often see, do you think, past loved ones, family
Oh, yes.
members, pets? Oh, I can just imagine how amazing that would be.
Yes, yes, and it's there's so much love. It's all love, and these people that they have known are just flooding them with this love and how much they love them. And one of the other nice things about is that all issues that you've had, with that person, it's gone, all gone. They are they have completely washed it away. So you're the one maybe holding on if you are, um, but not once you pass on. All of that stuff is finished. So
Oh,
that's cool.
yes, yes. So basically, all that negativity is gone.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
love.
yeah. Yes,
How
absolutely.
wonderful.
Another thing is that because we're no longer in a body, we don't feel the same physical things the bodies feel. So we can hear better, we can see better, we can feel, if you have a
Pain.
disability, it's
Oh,
gone, no matter
yes,
what the disability is. And as we get older, we get all these little creaks and whatever. I'm 85, so I know. And so all that's gone too, And people who are died from old age, well, I don't know if you die from old age, but anyway, um, people who die when they're old, when you see them, they look just like they did when they were 30. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, isn't that amazing? And
Yeah.
do you think, how do you believe karma comes into our lifetime and where we're at and what we choose to do? There's a
Yeah.
lot of talk about karma.
Well, karma is we see karma as, I think most people see karma that they didn't quite do it right and they have to fix it or do it better or whatever. And that's not what karma is. Karma is simply one more step towards getting back to the source, which is your ultimate goal. It's just one more, there's no mistakes. There's no, you didn't do it right. That's all here in this human thinking, but that's not legitimate at the soul or spirit level. We simply are just advancing, just like
Um,
kids in school.
just advancing. That is so amazing. So amazing. So do you believe that then every reincarnation, every life step we take, it's an advancement?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And even people who do things at this physical level
Mhm.
that we consider horrible, terrible things to do, they are still advancing. That experience brings them knowledge and understanding for their future advancement as a soul.
Yes, yes. So how do you believe uh, miracles play into our lifetimes and our purposes?
Well, I think that's a pretty large, I can answer it, but it's going to take a bit. Um, I believe that we are connected constantly to the source, that we are never not connected, and that we are never not a part of that whole oneness. And so, um, through that connection, if we can just be aware of that, then we can connect into it. So we do that through consciousness and through the thoughts, the positive thoughts, and our ways of looking and forgiveness and all those things that go into those quotes that you see. Um,
Yes.
you know, that if we just followed those, we would be on the right track. And we could have instant peace if everybody really wanted it. All they have to do is be the love.
Yeah, because
That's
we
it.
are, as you said, we are all connected and we are connected in love.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We are.
And actually, with people who have had death experiences, some of them get a chance to enter into the light and they see creation happening. And it is love energy or love power, that's how I call it, that is used to create with. So we're love power in manifest.
So some of these people who have done the near-death experience and taken that step into that far and then came back to the physical body. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine what that would do for them for the rest of their life.
Yeah, they
Essentially.
come back. Some people have a hard time adjusting, getting back to this life because it was so beautiful there
Oh,
that it's hard to be here and be back in this because this is really quite different. Um, and so that's a bit of a hardship for them. But it's also they they become after especially those who have had um, life reviews. Okay, a person who has life review, that's the big thing that changes them because some people who don't have life reviews don't change as much, but those who have, um, they want to do good for the world. They're loving, they're kind, they're understanding. They really want to do good. That doesn't mean they don't have bad days because they come back to being human again. But it's just a completely different thing. It's not like bad tempers or any of
can
that.
you give us an example of what a life review might be like?
Here after, well, one of the fellows, I remember him very well. His name was Larry, and Larry could not get over that this wasn't real, that's one of the lessons that's repeatedly taught is that this existence is not real. It's an illusion that we feel. And so he kept saying he would watch television. It's not real. He would see things, people interacting between them, two people talking. It's
Yes.
not real. Everything was, he couldn't get past that, you know, and that blew him away. But as I say, they start organizations or a lot of the spiritual groups and organizations and so on are based on people who have had death experiences, and they just do whatever they possibly can in their own way to help the world to be a better place.
And um, isn't there examples of people who've had these near-death experiences where they have actually, their physical body has been, pronounced dead for days,
Oh yes,
hours,
yes,
days,
yeah,
and they come
yeah,
back?
yeah. There's one fellow. You can look him up. I actually wrote it down. His name is Mark K. For anyone who's interested, he's on NDERF and Mark K. And the number of his experience is 4676. And anyway, he was dead for 29 hours, and it was all proven. That was a recorded death because the doctor had put an EEG on him to, I don't know why, but anyway, he had this EEG on him. And when he woke up, it was still running. And, so there was this straight line and then it started moving. So and that's rare. I mean, like we don't get very many, but there are many people who wake up in the morgue in the state of rigor mortis. And to me, that says this isn't hallucination. This isn't just the brain, you know, breaking down. When you get them that old, like hours and hours, it takes 12 to 14 hours for rigor mortis to set in. And some of these people are so stiff they can't even let people know that they're back. So that's scary for them.
Yes, yes. I can just imagine the lives that have been changed with these near-death experiences.
Yeah, and I think I studied 2,500 cases, and I think, well, actually, I keep going. I'm still finding more to read and more to learn. I'll never stop. But anyway, 2,500 cases. So I look at it from a broader perspective. I'm not looking at this one event or this one event. I'm looking at a huge, experience. And so what I'm talking about is an umbrella kind of thing and not each individual. Some
Yes,
individuals will be different.
yes, yes.
And the not most um, amazing death experience I ever heard was a man called Mellon Thomas Benedict. And you can look him up. It's Mellen dash Thomas and then Benedict. And just go to his site. He's got a site. He is now passed. He's not here anymore. But all of his material is still up there and it just blows your mind. It's fabulous. So I do recommend everybody reading it. It just
Yes.
is, he went back to the beginning of time. Oh, and another thing I talk about a lot is how we are the ones who create this experience and we create our death experience as well. And his experience shows, so he was going wherever. I don't know if he was in a tunnel or not. He just said he was on his way to, and and he said, wait a minute, I'm not sure. I want to think about this. And everything stopped. Everything stopped. And then he said, take me to the very beginning of time.
Oh
Well,
my
there isn't a
gosh.
beginning of time because we're infinite. But what they he did go back to was the beginning of this creation.
Oh, wow. And
Fantastic experience. And
yes,
there's a few others that have done that too.
yes,
There's not a lot, not very many do that, but there's two or three that have.
yes, yes. And many times that soul has the choice of going back or staying.
That's right. That's right. He hated people. He thought people were the cancer of the world. And when he came back, he said to his guide, well, "Do you mean people can be saved?" And they said, "They've always been saved. They were never not saved. There, that everybody, every soul, there is no evil souls anywhere, and that everybody is already saved." That
Wow,
was a nice
wow.
message.
Isn't it just amazing and beautiful to know, really, there's so
Yeah,
much we don't know, and just knowing this, the tidbits of this,
yeah, yeah.
gosh, and everyone, each one of us, I just have to think now, someday, when I pass, when loved ones pass, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a
Yeah,
party. It's
yeah,
gonna be going to
yeah.
love, and
It
that's
sort of
life
spoils
changing.
movies for you because the greatest horrible thing is for somebody to die, and be killed in the movie, and you know that it's not really like that.
Yes, yes, because yeah, we can get so distraught when we lose someone because we're losing them. But
Yeah,
what a thought
and I
to
just want to say,
know.
as far as losing a loved one, they are with you, and they hear you, and they can see you, and
Yes,
everything. There's nothing but love, and
yes,
and honor, and
yes. I
respect
was just
for.
on in my car on the way to the office this morning to talk to you, and I glanced in the rearview mirror and okay, my hair's, and I was like, gosh, I look so much like my mom, and my mom's passed, and I said, Mom, I look so much like you. I love you, and I know she heard me. I know she did.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They are with us all the time, and that's a
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. There's never a time, all you have to do is think of them or talk to them, and they can hear you. They know even what you're thinking. As a matter of fact, they know more about us than we do ourselves.
Yes, yes, and knowing so much and knowing about the light and
Yeah,
you know the angels, our loved ones, that that can erase the fear of death.
yeah, yeah,
it can
yeah, yeah.
so much
Well, I think there's still a bit of mourning because that loved one isn't right there that you can interact with.
yeah,
But you know that in your heart and mind that they are much happier and in a better place. So, yeah, from that point of view, it's true. Yeah.
so do you believe NDEs are happening all the time,
Oh, yeah.
just
Yeah. Millions and
continue?
millions and millions. And I think about this wars that are going on or different places that are having serious difficulties. And I think about people who have had death experiences there. I don't call them near death experiences. I just call them death experiences because they're not near. The people didn't almost die. They did die and
That's
they came back. So
mhm,
that's why I use death experiences.
yeah,
And so there are probably in those regions people who are having death experiences daily. Well,
mhm.
here actually, they're having death experiences daily. I mean, it's just so common now. Millions and millions of people in the United States alone. So, if you think about the whole world, there's tons and tons.
It's so amazing and so fascinating. And
Yeah.
do you see yourself doing more research? Are you still researching? Or
Yeah,
have you
'cause I
kind of
still
just,
have questions. I
uh-huh,
still have questions. And the other thing I'm doing too is I've been interested in science for, about 45 years or so. And I love science. And so, but I found that science and spirituality, there's a very definite link. And so that's what one of my other books is going to be about. It's actually all written. It just is looking for a publisher.
yes, yes. And I've always wondered what that might be like for, the someone in very scientific field when these death experiences happen and they
Yeah,
see a body
yeah.
just stop and then wake back up. That's got to be pretty
It
mind-boggling.
really, thankfully, there's been, you were saying about all these people having death experiences, and some of them are doctors, and some of them are scientists. And
Yes.
so they say, oh, it is real.
Yes,
Then they change their way of, not only their way of thinking, but they change their science.
that
They
is
start
so
searching for,
true. I interviewed a doctor once who
yeah,
himself did not believe in it, and then he had a near or a death
yeah,
experience,
yeah,
and it totally changed his mind. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah.
So life-changing. Well, Lynn, we have a few minutes left in the show. Please share
Okay,
with everyone a website or where they can get a copy of The Wonder of You. Anything you'd like to say in your
sure.
final moments.
The Wonder of You, the second edition, is available on Amazon, so you should be able to get it there. And also, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, and I have a website, and it's super easy to find. It's just lynnKrussell.com, all small letters, and you'll find me.
Oh, I love it.
And my message is how magnificent we are. You are so mind-boggling, beautiful, and magnificent, and you don't even know it. And that's everybody. So you know we can do far more than we give ourselves credit for being able to do.
Oh, oh, thank you. Yes, each one of us is magnificent. Oh my gosh, it's
Oh yes,
raise a
absolutely.
glass to that. Yeah, to our magnificent. And you are my magnificent friend. I am so grateful to have you on the show and everyone, The Wonder of You. The book is amazing. I just loved it.
Thank you so much for having me, Paula.
Oh,
I've enjoyed chatting with you.
I just think the world of you. Thank you, Lynn. Love, hugs, and blessings. Everybody out
Yeah,
there, thank you. Love, hugs, and blessings, and have a magnificent day. Because, and we are all magnificent. All righty. I love it. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.